Have you ever seen this image before? It's the endoskeleton of one of my childhood's favorite characters, but this is how he'd look if William Afton designed him. I stumbled on a video called Stitch's Great Escape Analog Horror, and it had that nightmarish image as its thumbnail. How could I not watch it? It opens with a bright, sugary commercial. Stitch is throwing clothes and furniture out of Cinderella's castle, like he's planning on moving in, and then he tries on her a glass slipper. He's just a goofy little dude at the end of the day, but it's actually advertising for a brand new ride at Magic Kingdom, which is a theme park. But you still feel kind of uneasy watching this. It looks like it's being played off of an old VHS tape. Oh, and how can you forget the static overlay effect? As usual, my intuition was right, because that was just the beginning. And somehow, by the end of the video, I was looking down the barrel of Stitch's stank mouth. The channel that uploaded this video is called Riley Lewis. He's a YouTuber who somehow uploads an analog horror video almost every single day, usually creepy reimaginings of childhood favorites. It's like watching nostalgia rot in real time. At the time of watching it, this one had been up for 13 days and already at 700,000 views. As soon as you start watching, you think this might be one of the most realistic looking analog horrors you've ever seen, but that's because almost all of it is real. Don't worry, I'll get into that. This is Stitch's Great Escape, the analog horror. Sit back, relax, get cozy, subscribe and like the video, and let's get into this. After that commercial, the video cuts to an old ABC segment from the early 2000s. A reporter and a little kid are strapped into the Stitch's Great Escape ride for the first time. It's a segment about them exploring and discovering what this ride is about. Surprisingly, the grown woman is the one that's terrified and the child is enjoying it. If you don't know much about this ride, it's a pretty interesting one. In the video you even see it. Stitch sometimes spits into the crowd. As you're wiping the mucus off your forehead, the lights flicker and mist constantly sprays. Almost like there's a gas leak inside of there. And the camera crew, I can't help but think about them recording this and getting spat on and just having to stay professional. Anyway, obviously this was a real ride, and this is footage from someone going on that real ride. Disney wanted this to replace Alien Encounter, a different ride, because it terrified kids. Their solution? Replace the alien with Stitch. Same chair restraints, same darkness, same surround sound breathing in your ears. But hey, it's family friendly now. The segment continues, the laughter slowly dissipates, then the footage glitches and cuts. And when the footage and video comes back, we're not in the theme park we saw before. You can tell when the footage changes to found footage. The resolution drops, the lens jitters. You can tell it's being recorded on a handheld camera. And what you see in front of you is old, empty, and dilapidated. Someone's inside the abandoned attraction, and they're alone. The footage is creepy. It's got no commentary, no music, just static sounds and the soft scuffs of footsteps on tiles. They pass a sea of empty seats, all pointed towards the central chamber, kind of like an amphitheater, the kind of setup that was once made for laughter. Now it kind of just looks like an execution room. It's extra unnerving because this big empty room, this space, all of the lights are on. It creates a liminal vibe, like a space that's meant to be filled with people, but it's completely empty, and it hits you in your core. You know something is wrong. It's as if the space is expecting a new crowd of people to flood in, but this attraction hasn't been visited in years. No one is coming, except for the man behind the camera. It almost makes you feel like, since the lights are on, was this place expecting him to arrive? More static flashes as the video goes on and we see different parts of the area. We get to see the details of the chairs and how they strap in over you. And then we start going down the stairs, closer towards that central pedestal. That's where Stitch usually is, right? That's his stage that he performs on. But he's gone. Nowhere to be seen in this place. But then we jump to a view that's standing behind a door trying to look through its little window. And we slowly zoom through that window. These old cameras have no internal stabilization, so it's very jittery and moving. But the urban explorer has clearly noticed something in there. There's a figure in the distance. It looks shiny. It's him. If you've ever seen that viral Reddit photo, the one of Stitch without his fur, it's all peeled off, then you know exactly what I mean. You know what we're looking at right now. But this time he's moving. The urban explorer has now found himself at the foot of a moving animatronic Stitch, or whatever's left of him. The fur is gone, the latex skin is peeled away. A metal endoskeleton is all that's left. His skull looks hollow like it's a helmet, but his teeth are still shiny and porcelain. Flowing in and out of his body and throughout his bones are wires. He is Nightmare Stitch, the cousin of Nightmare Bonnie. But the worst part by far is that he's still moving. He rotates stiffly on his mount. Each rotation creaks louder. Then his mouth opens. Too wide, like a hinge that's lost its stop point. And then he does it. He starts screaming. The souls of the damned must live in his belly because that scream is horrific. As if he didn't have enough hands, he's got an extra hand in this version. He's got a nice big clawed hand. As we see more scenes of him gyrating and rotating around, we notice something actually inside him. It's like there's another being inside him. Its eyes, they start to glow. Two faint yellow inner lights. The inner eyes of this demon. And then he notices you notice, so he tries to give you a closer look. He tilts his head up slowly. Then he stops and stares directly into the camera. A classic animatronic pump fake. It's like you just got caught after a chase scene. It's like he dives towards the cameraman to jump scare him. Don't worry, Stitch, we were already scared, buddy. The urban explorer now awaits the game over screen. He didn't move or even try and get away. But one thing's for sure, the video ends. It's over because we died. That story would be creepy enough on its own, right? But the kicker? The footage, most of it at the very least, wasn't even faked. Stitch's Great Escape really did exist. It opened in Disney World's Magic Kingdom in 2004, and it actually did replace the notorious Alien Encounter ride, because apparently it actually was scaring kids a little bit too much. This was supposed to be the friendly family version. The advertisement at the beginning of the video, that was real, that was shown on TV to bring kids on in. But instead, in real life, the ride did become infamous on its own. The animatronic Stitch would drool on guests and spit on them. He was loud, it was like he was screaming into your ears, and he would blast chili dog breath into the theater. He was actually burping and they made it real. Obviously, kids cried and adults complained. And by 2018, the attraction just quietly closed forever. Except Disney never dismantled it. They just sealed the doors. Years later, urban explorers snuck in, like a YouTuber called Urbex Orlando 6136. They're the YouTuber that actually created the gold behind this video. The majority of the footage of the exploration actually came from them. And to be honest, they deserve a huge amount of credit for being able to create a creepy video like this. Urban explorers like Urbex Orlando and others found exactly the stuff that we saw in this video. Seas of empty seats, the lights still being on. It's very unusual why things were still being powered on. And also the prolific, half-dismantled Stitch. And that's how that infamous photo first appeared. It was an urban explorer that took it and posted it to Reddit. After that, the skinless Stitch became an urban legend. A Disney relic that refused to die. And Riley Lewis, the creator of this analog horror, he just took that urban legend and turned it into motion. Here's the funny thing about this analog horror. It isn't really analog horror in my opinion at the very least. I think it's more found footage. But regardless, it feels real because it could be. We know the building exists. We know the animatronic exists. We know someone filmed inside of that dark abandoned place. And to be honest, that's the real fear. It's like seeing an old stuffed toy that you had as a child, but now it's hairless and twitching and whispering binary to you. And the more I looked into the creator's uploads, the weirder it got, to be honest with you. He uploads new horror animations and calls them analog horror almost every day. No human animates that fast. Well, not with this quality at the very least. Not without losing their minds. So naturally, the comments in the video started guessing, is this AI? Which would be extremely disappointing in my view. I love animation. I'm an animation purist, but good animation takes time. Building the model with detail, then rigging it, then animating it and rendering it. And suspiciously, the creator never responds to the AI questions he gets in his comments, which leads me to believe that Stitch section at the end of the video actually is AI. Yeah, not a fan of that, especially if it's conjoined with other people's footage of real stuff. But regardless, the theme of the video is still amazing. And to be honest, I can't believe believe it hasn't been explored yet by any other creators. Look, after playing mascot horror games for years, I feel like I've seen it all. But this story blends the world of creepy animatronics and mascot horror with real life. It is ripe for the picking and has all of the makings for a creepy series or game. I don't know if it's because the real photo of Stitch that went viral induced nightmares into everyone that loved Stitch when they were younger like me, or whether all of us knew how Stitch kind of always had a dark core deep down in there and he could be evil. Maybe he's the perfect character to go evil and murderous. Maybe that's the real reason they had to shut the ride down. Did a crying child try to look too closely into its mouth? Maybe there's more to the real story. Maybe this is just the beginning of Stitch's great escape. Anyway, that is all I've got for you today for the Stitch story. I really like this story, but it is also kind of ironic because it's called Stitch's Great Escape, and they've really locked him in there forever. Like, he can't even escape in death. Anyway, there's a ton more lore behind the history of Stitch's Great Escape being closed down, and there's also a ton more footage from urban explorers who actually went into the abandoned Stitch's Great Escape. I highly recommend you check out that content from creators like Urbex Orlando if you want to see more of this stuff, because it's fantastic and super creepy. In today's video, I just wanted to look at that analog horror tape and briefly go over the original story. Now wait, before you go, big announcement. I have fully revamped my Let's Play gaming channel, Aeroga. I took a little break from that channel while I was sorting things out on here, the main channel, Aeroga, but that's where I'm going to be continuing my therapeutic long Let's Plays of spooky horror games and maybe some others. So I'd really appreciate it if you go and support me and subscribe to Aeroga. You'll know the profile picture, it just looks like me, my face, and I look like I'm miserable and lost in the void of darkness. I just played Subliminal as well, which is a fantastic game. You should go see it. Anyway, I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Love you all. Bye bye.